Alright guys, today we're covering something genuinely unique, a motorcycle brand you've probably never heard of, launching one of the strangest and most entertaining bikes in its class. Meet the QJMotor SRV600V. QJMotor might sound like a random name, but this is actually huge news. They're the biggest and longest established Chinese motorcycle manufacturer entering the UK. And they're not messing around, launching with 16 new models right out of the gate. A bit of background: QJMotor is the main brand under QJMotor Motorcycle. Founded back in 1985 and now owned by the massive Geely Group, the same company behind Volvo, Lotus and Polestar. They also own Benelli and produce around 1.5 million motorcycles every single year. This isn't some random startup, this is a serious manufacturer. Now, the SRV600V is their entry-level, most affordable model, a middleweight, rubber-style sport cruiser. Sounds familiar so far, right? Similar to bikes like Honda's Rebel 500 or Kawasaki's Eliminator. But here's the twist: instead of a typical low-revving parallel twin or V-twin engine, QJMotor stuffed a full-blown, high-revving V4 into this thing. Yeah, a V4 cruiser. If that sounds like a 1990 seconds supersport engine crammed into a bobber body, you're not wrong, and that's exactly what makes this bike so special. In terms of riding position, everything feels genuinely well thought out. The seat sits low at just 720mm, pegs are forward but easy to reach, and the whole stance feels like a comfortable hot rod cruiser. The cockpit looks good too, with a round 4-inch TFT dash and Harley-style switchgear, which actually makes sense, since QJMotor also builds Chinese market Harleys. One complaint though: the mirrors are genuinely some of the worst tested, with your elbows blocking the view entirely. Apparently, flipping them to an overslung position fixes this, but unfortunately that wasn't tested. Now here's where the SRV really shines the ride. Firing up that little V4 already puts a smile on your face, but rev it toward its screaming 10,000 revolutions per minute redline, and it genuinely feels like an old-school supersport engine. Yet, despite the drama, it still pushes smoothly from low revs, so it's not all noise and no substance. Handling is equally impressive. The chassis feels stable and confidence-inspiring. Steering is sharp, and even with somewhat budget suspension components, cornering clearance was better than expected even through hillside hairpins. Braking and suspension use adjustable Marzocchi forks and radial brakes, although branded with more budget-tier components like CST tires and biber calipers. Still, overall spec beats most Japanese competitors in this price range. So final verdict: the QJMotor SRV600V isn't just a gimmick, it's a genuinely fun, well-handling, uniquely powered cruiser that punches well above its price point. What do you guys think? Would you take a chance on a Chinese brand offering this much performance for the money? Let me know in the comments below.